Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to yet another episode of Cave Convos. This is Season 2, Episode 6, and you're joined by one of your co-hosts, Reg the Bear, and
Polar Reg.
And Jeff Grizzly.
We're back.
Finally.
We're sorry about the hiatus, the jubilee, as it were, but we're back.
Yeah.
But you'll have known that because this is the second episode we back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't uploaded the previous one yet. It's still just a file, but that's okay. That's okay. It's in the works. Be encouraged.
Let's start with
So, yeah. Nintendo.
Nintendo.
They've done it again.
Yeah, they fucked everything up again.
Yes. I mean, I said we were going to be, I recommended you be encouraged, and now we're going to be a little less encouraging.
We're going to discourage you from buying this.
Yes.
Yeah, don't buy a Switch 2.
There will be a
boycott
silver
that.
lining at the end, don't you worry.
So, Nintendo had like a Switch 2 Direct, which is like their like showcase or whatever. And it was just ass. Like, okay, this is what happened. Like, it wasn't actually. The Direct itself, like, wasn't that bad. Like, it was cool. It showed a lot of cool features. There's some cool games coming out. But the second the Direct ends, or like right after the Direct ends, they have the most fucking terrible news ever. And honestly, there was some shit in the Direct too about, like, in my opinion, like games, like the games from the Switch 1 being on the Switch 2, it's like you can like cross-platform play it or whatever, but like you have to like upgrade them if you want to get like the
money.
Yeah, for money if you want to get like
Wow.
the better graphics, which is just like fuck you.
Hold on. Can you just repeat that one more time? You have to pay more money to get better graphics?
What I think is going to happen
So
is
yeah,
if you
because the
wanna
system,
play-
you already buy the system, the Switch 2. It's $450, which really is not bad in today's standard. I mean, like if it is.
What was the
Yeah.
PS5? Like 900 when
Yeah.
it came out?
Yeah, no, it was 500, but you had to spend like 900
Yeah,
to.
it was tough. That was a
But
tough
like yeah, so
launch.
consoles released at like $500, and like the Switch, it probably isn't as. I mean, apparently the Switch 2 is gonna be just as powerful as like a base level PS5.
The hype's not there.
Yeah, but like so, and that's pretty good for a Switch. That is pretty good. The Switch like now is like a literal fucking DS practically. This like the technology on the Switch is terrible.
Yeah. What was the last console before the Switch? It was the Wii U.
Yeah, Wii U.
When we were starving when the Wii U came out, nobody liked it except for me.
The Wii U is like known as like the worst Nintendo console ever.
It did make them in a lot of money.
What is the Wii U?
It's
Well-
like the bridge between the Wii and the Switch.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
It starts with like a
because they gave you like another tiny screen on this big clunky pad.
yeah.
Which was like the big gimmick of it, but
And,
that
like,
was
you-
expensive
yeah.
to add to it when most people just wanted a Wii.
Yeah, most people just wanted that, but they gave you another. They had like that's the thing with Nintendo. They're really on the handheld, which like I get it, it's cool, but like it should be a separate thing. I want a home console.
But
like,
then
if
they'd
I'm
have to
go-
be competing more with Xbox and PlayStation. I feel like
Yeah.
they're trying to carve a niche.
Yeah, which it's an L.
Definitely.
Which they are. That brings me to my next fucking point. They are trying to compete with Xbox. Like Zelda, Mario, what's it called? They're not only competing, they're bigger than a lot of the titles that like Xbox and PlayStation has. Like Mario is one of the biggest names in video games ever, and now
That's definitely helping because
yeah,
they're
it's that.
buying for the character.
Everyone's buying it to play Zelda or play Mario or play like Mario Kart, which is like Mario or Super Smash Brothers, like some of the biggest games that you can't play unless you have a Switch.
If we saw this and it wasn't Nintendo and instead of Donkey Kong it was Bing Bong,
Yeah, no one
nobody
would
would
buy
buy it.
But-
But it's because they got these names attached.
And they have these names attached, so they are like a AAA title or a AAA studio or whatever. And now they're setting the standard that video games were once $60, and like in recent years we've seen them be $70. Video games, they say their games, Mario Kart 8 will be $80.
$80.
$80 is
Off
is
the
gonna be the new.
$500 console.
Yeah, off of yeah.
It's really tricky. I'm not sure to what extent this is like they're trying to say this is due to inflation and stuff like that. I'm sure a lot of other developers will start doing this. I mean,
Yeah, they
like
set the new
Bethesda-
standard.
Bethesda, if their games aren't $80 from now on, I would be surprised.
Yeah, same.
Um,
Which is fucked up.
that brings me to another part about Nintendo. They're weird where it's like they're a big company, sure, but they're not Microsoft. They're not a Samsung, and so their capacity to reach into all these large markets, like Jeff is saying. I mean, sure, Zelda is big and it's bigger than say any Microsoft game, but is it bigger than GTA? Is it bigger than the Fortnites? I mean, and that's who they're competing with oftentimes too, is developers.
Yes.
And you throw in the technology manufacturers on top of that. I mean, yes, they need definitely a niche.
There's a lot more third-party involvement with this one than the last one.
Yeah.
Like, my personal favorite game studio, the guys who made Dark Souls, are making a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive game.
It's exclusive?
Never been on any other console.
But is it coming to other consoles, like when it comes on Nintendo Switch? Or is it only going on the Switch? That's crazy.
Bloodborne was released, as we know, it's an exclusive. And
Wow.
Bloodborne, which I've always wanted to play real bad, only released on PlayStation 10 years ago, and it never came out on anything else. So it's entirely possible this stays a Switch 2 exclusive.
That's crazy.
Unless it bombs.
Well, I feel like it being exclusively on Switch 2 would be a reason that it bombed.
It could.
Could be.
That could be a reason. That's the thing. Like Switch and Nintendo is very popular. Like, I said it to you earlier. Like the Switch, this might be because of COVID, but it was the top selling console over like 2020, 2022, all that time.
And even when it came out, everyone was so excited for it because that idea of like taking the controllers off the side and playing at home with sticking it on, that's innovative.
It is, but
Now that you mention it, my cousins own one.
Yeah.
everyone,
Well,
everyone knows someone or owns a Switch. Someone.
Yeah.
I mean, it is like.
It popped off.
Yeah, it popped
We
off.
never got the Wii U Deluxe OLED edition. Nobody even wanted to buy the Wii U.
Yeah.
But now we have like the Switch OLED, the Switch Mini, which is like the controllers are stuck to the side. It's
Oh yeah, the Switch Lite or whatever.
the Switch Lite.
Yeah, and another thing, still going in the pricing of games.
Yeah.
$80.
Yeah, $80. But listen.
And I know you're talking about a Mario game, so not to say that they're worse than other games, but I understand if, once again, Rockstar, because they're just doing different things.
I mean,
Nintendo-
Zelda. The thing is, Zelda. When a new Zelda game comes out, it's a top game every time, and the last two that's come out have actually get. Like, yeah, what's it called? Echoes of Wisdom was technically like, fucking.
DLC.
No, it was.
the same engine. It was the same type of game.
No, that's Tears of Kingdom. I'm talking about Echoes of Wisdom.
You're right.
The top down one. Even that was still nominated for Game of the Year. And like when they like Zelda games and even Mario games like Odyssey, like that was a Game of the Year contender. Like they won, but what's it called?
Yeah,
Breath of the Wild won that year, and the next year it would have won, or not the next year it would have won if not the biggest fucking innovation in gaming came out that year.
Yeah, if Nintendo puts out a game,
Like, they put out good games.
One of them is gonna get nominated, maybe even multiple of them.
Like when it's like a first party or like not a third party game, it is like they have a good track record with games.
Yeah.
Like their games
consistent.
are
Well,
but
and then there's Paper Mario, but consistent
that game's
for the
fucking
most
boring.
part.
True.
The newest one that what was that? That one was fucking awful.
You mentioned Rockstar.
Oh yeah, but I still haven't said this. The physical copy. I really need to say that the physical copy of the games are an increase of even more, $90.
$10 more for
$10
a
more.
box.
But the thing about it is, it's not even really a physical copy. You put the copy. They said there's no data on the Nintendo. They have like little like cards, so you just plop it in and it just automatically you can play it. So you put it in there, and instead of it like being on the card, it downloads it from the internet. So you're still just downloading it.
What is the card then?
It's like right now the Switch, they do have like the game is on the card or whatever, but they're just getting rid of that. So you're just paying an extra $10
okay.
to still only have the game digitally.
I wonder if they'll still be bitter. Do you know about that?
What is
the
that?
game cartridges are bitter. They're designed to taste really bad if you lick them, to discourage babies from eating them. But it kind of became, this is gross. Now
What?
That is so random.
This became like, I don't know, but now they seem to be focusing more on digital than the physical. I would buy the physical copies. I would take the little cartridge out and I would go real quick and then just put them in the game. And they were always bitter, but it became like a ritual. I don't know. If we're not buying physical copies anymore, what are we going to lick?
Another thing about it is,
I don't think
Ubi-
I've ever licked a video game.
I have definitely not licked a
should try
video
it.
game.
It's bad.
Nah, Ubisoft.
I
I
guess
think it
I'll
was
have to do that.
Ubisoft. They
I
said
have like batteries though. It's like the same thing.
Yeah, but this, I think it's so babies won't like eat them.
Okay.
But yeah,
Sorry, Freddie. What were you saying?
Ubisoft said it was a while ago. I think like the leader, like the CEO of Ubisoft said, gamers need to get comfortable with not really owning their games.
I will definitely get comfortable with not owning Assassin's Creed.
I know. I would get comfortable
I think
not
they're
buying.
going out of business. Ubisoft.
Which like, cause they're saying like, cause like they can when you're buying a digital game, you're just buying like the access to the game, and like they if you like read like what's it called, they can just take away that access at any time.
If you get logged out of your PlayStation account, you just lose your game. It's not your game anymore. You can't. I don't know.
Which if you have that hard copy, that's your game no matter where you fucking go. You can put it in any console too.
I don't like the online.
It's just so that's the thing. I don't like it either, but it's so much easier. Like I don't want to. You don't see no one's
I
fucking waiting
agree.
outside a GameStop for like a Halo release. If it was digital back in the day, no one would have done that.
Steam does it pretty well.
Honestly, even now too, like when I have to physically put a disc in to play a game,
Yeah.
that feels archaic to me.
I know, like I could just sit on my bed, whoop, go over the next fucking game I have downloaded.
Maybe that's why they're less exciting now. Because I remember being a kid, like I'm
Yeah.
plugging in my GameCube controller, I'm putting Kirby Air Ride on a disc this big into the console, and now I'm sitting on the floor 5 feet away because I have a wire, like absorbed in the game now.
What sucks too, though, is even now you don't get that experience because you put the disc in and then it downloads.
Yep.
That too. You can't just pop in the game and play it.
That's extraordinary. So they've ruined the CD experience completely, and then they said, "Get comfortable in this new thing we're doing."
That was
Well, we have to, I guess.
the beauty of the DS in a way. You just like out of the back, you got a whole. Probably you have a box full of these little games, and you just game starts, new game.
Yep.
It was
The
like
Switch-
magic.
Yeah, the Switch. I feel like they're trying to do that. They still have the cartridges, but you plop them in, and it's like downloading update.
Yeah, it's like you have to and you have to like update your system to play this game. Like fuck you, let me put this in my console and play it. It's like an offline game 99% of the time. Like who
Yeah.
the fuck's playing online on Nintendo?
And they're not only that too. Is what I love is it'll be like daily updates too.
Yeah.
What could possibly have changed that much? And then you go into the game and then you still experience like the same bugs.
Yeah.
Right.
So I really don't know what the point of that was.
It's kind of why it's why I stopped playing Fortnite, even though my friends still play
It's a
it.
great
I never
example.
loved Fortnite, but maybe I would have put up with this if I loved Fortnite, but I already don't. Every time I wanted to play it, they'd be like, "We just got to do a quick 70 gigabyte update,"
Yeah.
and
Then you go in and there's still people under the world shooting at you.
Yeah, my
Great,
shit's still
thank you.
lagging,
Yeah.
and 70 gigabytes every time. Plus, their downloader is really bad, so it would take me hours. It wasn't worth it.
That was crazy about Fortnite. Like, and they did an update weekly when the game first came out. Weekly, there was new items and shit like that in the game, and like, it was still early access. Like, I didn't even think about that. Like, they were really Fortnite fucked up so many things in my opinion. Like, they made the battle pass. Now every fucking game, even if it's a $60 game, it'll still have you an option to buy a $10 battle pass
I
in
hate
it.
battle passes.
And they were in early access, but they're still like acting as if it's a finished game, and they're fucking just pumping out updates every week. How about you finish the fucking game?
that's
Get the
part of
game
the-
down, then start updating every
Yeah.
week.
That brings up an interesting point. Why is it that Fortnite was free and they worked harder on it after people got it, and yet these games that we pay money for, they hardly fix them afterwards?
Right.
I mean, there are some games a lot of work is done, and even still, it's broken.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Fallout. Looking at you, Skyrim. Even
Cyberpunk's 27.
Cyberpunk. That's a perfect example. I mean, it's almost
Honestly, like,
surreal when you think about it.
I mean, they're getting all the money, at least the most money, from the initial release of it.
$80, yes, from millions sometimes of people for an unfinished product that they will not even consistently update.
Right. When a new Call of Duty comes out, everybody who's gonna buy it for the most part is gonna buy it when it comes out.
Yeah.
They're waiting for it to come out.
well,
Or they
I
know
have
when
the new
it's gonna
Call of
come out 'cause
Duty.
It come out every year. Yeah.
but I didn't buy it. I wouldn't have bought it. I just have Game Pass.
How soon after it came out did you get it?
I don't know. Honestly, I think I got a pretty. But like, I wasn't like sitting like, yeah, I want to play COD. I just like had Game Pass, and a couple of my friends were playing it, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. And like, I actually have played a good amount of it since. But yeah,
Well, the launch
I wouldn't
date,
have got it. That's what I'm saying.
That's when the sales are typically gonna peak.
Yeah.
Unless they do some wacky bullshit.
Well, they usually do wacky bullshit on top of it. Like, we'll do it on Black Friday. We'll throw
feel
it
like-
around Cyber Monday.
Just like live service game. If a game isn't just like just story
Or
mode
Steam-
only.
Steam sales.
I think even on those sales, it's never gonna reach the peak of like the big launch, like especially because that's when everybody who really wants to buy it is gonna buy it. That's when all the people who are following the release dates and know it's coming out
They
that
put in
day,
a lot of marketing.
they're gonna buy it.
True.
And they probably make enough money off of that, at least Call of Duty, to just make the next one.
Yeah.
And so, where do you think Nintendo will fit into this?
I mean, they're gonna what's it called? Somehow they're fine. What they're gonna fit into this? Everything else is gonna fit into them being $80 to fucking for a AAA game. Like Call of Duty's still $60 because I mean, it's just the fucking same game every year. You shouldn't even be paying like a live service game. What I'm saying is live service games across the board should be free. If it has microtransactions, it should be free. Like I get a game like Zelda or Mario or I'm trying to think of a non like Nintendo game. But like a game that's just like story mode, like in every like indie game, yeah, that's you. I mean, like they deserve to be paid for it. But like, if you have microtransactions in your games, like Fortnite, like Fortnite, like, look at how Fortnite did it. They don't have what's it called. So like, it's just pissing me off that like these games can still get away with being so expensive and fucking just milking everyone for their fucking more money when you get it.
And I've noticed with a lot of these games, I only play them one time.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the older Nintendo type games were designed to get a lot more mileage out of them. Like,
yeah, like I played. It might have been because of my age, but like,
maybe it's because
how many times did you play a game like Ocarina of Time? Once.
3 times.
Yeah, I played it like at least 3
I
times.
played Ocarina of Time 3 times.
But like, how many times have you played?
Did you enjoy it all 3 times?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
How
all
many
that
times have
matters,
you
ladies
played
and
Breath of the
gentlemen.
Wild?
But I would
Or
never,
Tears of the Kingdom?
I'd never play Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild again.
Second time?
after
Yeah.
I played.
And those are looked at
Those
as
were hits.
big. I mean, it's hard to say. Like Ocarina of Time is like probably the biggest Zelda game. Maybe not now because of how popular Tears of like that the open world of those games are, and it's a lot more modern.
I feel like more people bought Breath of the Wild than Tears of the Kingdom, though. It was kind of a letdown, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the same world. I feel like
I didn't buy either.
it's the same world, so that threw a lot of people off. Like I already explored that. That's a huge part of Zelda, the exploration. So when there's no really new exploration, it wasn't. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend. I guess I would say if you haven't played either, play Tears of the Kingdom.
A lot of the faces.
It's so much like the things you can do in it are like a lot cooler. You can like do anything. It's like a fucking sandbox.
A lot of the soul and the innovation of Nintendo, like what made them great, is kind of tapering out. A lot of the people like Iwata, Miyamoto, Sakurai.
Miyamoto? What's it
Iwata
called?
died, and Miyamoto and Sakurai, they're getting older. They can't pump out games like they used to. So
Right.
nobody can name any of the developers that aren't them.
Is Miyamoto Zelda?
Most of them. Miyamoto's Mario. It might be Zelda too. And
I
then
don't-
So do you
Sakurai did
feel-
Kirby and Smash?
Do you think that Nintendo is going to kind of continue down this path of having a warped sort of product because they're losing these main
It's going to
figures?
be smoother, definitely. Like the games are going to get less adventurous, I think,
Okay.
as they come out.
Let's
Oh yeah,
creativity.
no, yeah,
Like, I mean-
Asia Numa. I know it from the directs. I feel like.
Mario Galaxy, like I've never played a game that runs like that. And I can see a lot of people not liking the way Mario Galaxy controls. You have to run around planets that like rotate as you're walking on them, and it's really cool. And you can like jump and gain momentum and keep spinning around them and doing all this shit. And I feel like we're seeing less of that kind of
No.
innovation.
See, I like this.
Yeah.
I disagree with it in a sense. I honestly think that like for the majority of it, like the Nintendo games, for the most part, are like bangers.
Yeah.
Like
they're
I
good
do,
games.
like Odyssey, Zelda, like 2 Zelda that came out. The new Mario Kart game that's coming out, like that looks fucking sick too. I'm
Yeah.
not spending I'm not getting it. I'm not spending $80. I'm not gonna buy a new Switch at this point. But like, if it came out on the current Switch, I would buy
If
it.
Breath of the Wild like just came out now for $80, like I feel like people would be excited for it. It was huge when it
Yeah,
was
like
announced.
that's like the new Donkey Kong game.
Is
In
it
my opinion,
$580 investment just to play this new game? you're
pretty
saying?
much.
Yeah, and $80 for every game after that. Unless you
Well, like
buy
I don't know if
everything.
every game after that, like every game is $80, but like the Mario's, the Zeldas, like this Donkey Kong game, which is like probably like the big, besides Mario Kart, which is like the big release with the Switch, which it actually looks. I will say, I don't know, didn't seem as hyped as I was for it. That Donkey Kong game looks actually so fun. Like I disagree. I feel like Nintendo will always be having fun
I'm
ass shit in
biased.
the
I was
game.
never into Donkey Kong.
I guess it's not even just Donkey Kong. It's like
It just looks like a fun game.
it looks like what's it called? I guarantee you it was made by the same people who made Odyssey. It looks identical to Odyssey, and it just looks like it'll be so much fun. I feel like they're good at making these new games. Just like they have like their niches, like the Switch, which in my opinion, the niche of like the controllers and like it being a thing like that is kind of shitty.
Right.
But like their games, they're good at doing games. But
They're
then they
never
just
gonna beat the stick and the button.
Yeah.
You can add all the motion and the woo you want, but you're never gonna beat the stick and the button. It's so like it's perfect.
Yeah.
fuck the
It
motion. I
is
don't like the
iconic.
motion.
One hand moves, one hand jumps. Brilliant. They
But there's
got it
only so
right the
much you can
first
do in
time.
those games.
Well,
Like you couldn't play Mario Odyssey with one jump button, one jump move. You have to be able to throw your hat. You have to be able
that's
to.
true. But take a game like Hollow Knight, where I mean we both got a lot of hours. Out
You would
of
have
Hollow
to.
Knight.
There would have to be 3 buttons.
For what was like $7, you can
4. I'm saying.
having like a restriction is what made these people so creative. You couldn't make the next open world
What even is
collect
that?
all this. It's like a painted mountain.
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
wanna
If
go
that's
there.
real.
But it what was I just saying? Yeah,
We got distracted by the
when
painted
there was
mountain.
when it was that button you said like the original Mario, two buttons and like 4 directions you can go in. It wasn't like that because they wanted it to be that way. They didn't really have a choice back then.
But they've done
The
it now.
technology is so restrictive, and that's when you get creative with it. You find a way to take this thing that is otherwise limited, and you move it as crazily as you can. You don't lose it in all these like, you can do character quests, you can do a million quests, you can craft, you can build. They're more like focused the vision.
Well,
Hollow Knight, you just jump and attack and dash.
think about this though.
Further you play within these confines, you get something that's more dense.
Nintendo still does these things.
Yeah.
What about Wonder? What about Mario Wonder?
Mario Wonder,
Which you might not like it, but it
Hold
is
on.
that. It
It
is what
is
you're
that.
wanting, and you're not liking it. So what does that say?
I played Mario Wonder all the way through though.
Alright, but
but
you-
I didn't have the same. It's still Mario. It's still like when they took it to 3D, they were running around the planets. That's crazy. Mario Wonder. If you like 2D platformer Mario, is like play that. But if you want something that is Mario has never been here before,
Play Mario Odyssey.
you can play Mario Odyssey, which I agree is a great game. I didn't love Mario Wonder as much. I don't feel like they did anything with it that like. I mean, the gimmicks were cool.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
But a lot of the
that's
other-
what I'm saying. They've done the one button jump thing. Like, there's only so many Mario games you can make. They're making it more innovative, and you're saying, I don't fucking care.
What's the innovation? It's still the same controls as like.
Yeah,
Mario
exactly.
Wii.
What could you do in the games? Like, they're giving you new things that you
Change
do
the
change
route.
the entire level. Like, you go through a level, and then you get like the Wonder Seed or whatever,
So-
and it changes the entire level.
Well, okay. So what is the consistency throughout the games that you're still seeing even with these changes?
Playing them once and never going back to them.
And why do you
Yeah.
think that is?
Because I think
The sort of story element of the games?
it could be, but maybe it is just like when I played the original Mario on the DS, the Nintendo DS, I played the shit out of that game. There's a million different ways you can go from like one level to the next. You find all these secrets built in. You don't really have to play the same game every time. But I feel like Mario Wonder
What
is
is
like
that?
it's like a showcase. When you go into like the Mario Wonder level, they're not hard.
Yeah.
You go in there, you hit the flower, and something really cool does happen. But you only get that what the fuck once. When the first time I ever played like a Mario game, they're like, you're in the fucking, you go to a desert level, you think I'm gonna be on sand. They're putting you on a platform and enemies are falling out of the sky. They're being blown in by, they got creative with it, I guess, with less technology. And
Okay.
you can kind of, I personally, I can feel that.
And so
I get what you're saying. I get
is
what you're
it
saying.
sort of
With Mario Wonder or new games, you can put more into the visual kind of distractions of it, like the flair. The presentation goes way up, and that makes them for great first-time playthroughs.
it's all
But they
cosmetic though?
Feel a little shallower.
Okay.
Even Mario Odyssey didn't. I never played it twice. It
I
did
want to
feel
say
like
this
it
about you
was
not
something
playing
to
these
play
games twice. When's the last time you played a full game twice?
Dark Souls was actually that's not the last.
How
time
old were
played
you?
one
I want
twice.
to ask, how old were you?
I've played Dark Souls 6 times.
How old were you when you last time you replayed it?
The last time I ever played Dark Souls was Christmas.
Damn. So you really other than Dark
From
like
Soft Games.
I was gonna say, yeah, like Dark Souls and these not necessarily challenging games, but like even something like it's Balatro, right?
Balatro.
Like,
goated.
these are games in which you have the capacity to go about how you play differently
Yeah.
each time, and I guess that's the element that you're missing in these Nintendo games.
I think a
Yeah,
part of
this
it
is
maybe
really
you
different. Like when
growing
you
up a little
played-
bit. I think
That's
that might
it.
be a little.
I am getting older.
And well, I remember even you saying with Zelda, like they offered multiple ways to sort of go about
The thing is,
solving things.
they
but
go about it better now in multiple ways.
That is true.
But-
they have more options.
It
Nah.
sounded like before your issue was that they were sort of bringing back callbacks, and that it was almost like just recycling.
Yeah, they did release the same map. They put new monsters and shit on the map, but it's the same map,
Same map.
same locations you can go to,
Yep.
and the temples, which that's why I played Ocarina of Time as many times as I did because
There's none. There really isn't
you go
any. dungeons.
Ocarina of Time?
No, in the
yeah.
new ones.
The new ones, they have these half-hearted, like,
Yeah.
hit 5 boxes.
Because they spent more time on the overworlds.
Right, but you already had the overworld with Breath of the
Yeah.
Wild. When I played Ocarina of Time, I'd go into a dungeon and it was like a
Yeah.
haunted mansion funhouse of like, oh, I gotta go here, I gotta hit this,
Yeah.
I gotta do whatever.
Like in Ocarina of Time, like the first dungeon you go inside the Great Deku Tree. Like you go inside this like tree that is sentient. You talk to this tree and he has like an infection in him, and you
like
go
you're
in
a tree.
Yeah.
Like you're climbing up different levels of it. You're climbing up cobwebs. You're trying to fall from the top of the tree. They use every aspect of this is like a place that you're in. When Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, it's more like this is like a place and there's random targets you have to hit.
Yeah.
It
Like-
doesn't have that same like feeling of exploration. And as you solve these puzzles, that you feel smart for solving these puzzles too. Something clicks, it goes and more opens up, and you just keep going
That's the
down
thing.
into this dungeon.
With
It's
the older
great.
dungeons, you like progress through the dungeon. You get new equipment in the dungeon. You use that equipment
Yeah.
to unlock new things. In like the new ones, you just go into the dungeon and much like the open world, they just like, all right, you can just do whatever you want. Like
Yeah.
go do the dungeon. There's
As
like
long as you
5
hit the
points.
targets.
There's like 5 targets you gotta go do. Go do them.
They just don't feel as loved.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remember I can probably name every
Dungeon and Ocarina
dungeon in
of Time.
Ocarina of Time, and there's like 12 of them, but there's only 4 in
Like,
Breath of the Wild, and I can't tell you the names of any of them.
like every single boss fight in Ocarina of Time is so good. Like you have the fucking spider.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the one of the fucking cool. It's just like cool ass thing. You have like a bomb, you throw it into this thing's mouth, they're like sucking it up.
Yeah.
And then the next one's like a fucking flying tentacle thing.
Well, I'll have to include an image of the flying tentacle thing.
I
There's a
forget-
million of them.
And then you start fighting Phantom Ganon. You're like, oh shit, I'm fighting Ganon.
Yeah, you're
Fucking
fighting a guy coming out of paintings, and do you shoot him with the bow? Do you try to whip him with the sword?
And like this is the
They're
final
like-
boss.
They're like
boss.
puzzles, and they're of their own right. And playing the game again, you kind of know where to go. You know how to solve the puzzles more efficiently, and it's still there's a kind of reward to that in a way. Maybe you put on some like I don't know self-imposed challenge, like I'm only gonna try to attack with like the hook shot, or that might be an extreme example. But with like Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild, when you're in these dungeons and you open up like a room, it'll be like, here's the weapon you already have, but it does more damage. It's not, now you can whip across gaps with a hook and the whole thing becomes a different context. It's like, what's a good example? You're playing through a whole level and you're like, I don't know, they're like, it's just a level. Like, I don't know how it can, what's
It's so
what's
weird,
the
like-
catch here? But then you get an item that changes the way you look
Yeah.
at everything.
It's two
Not
different-
just in that level, but everything.
Like there are honestly 2 different styles of games.
Yeah.
Like the new ones that we have, like you have everything you need, and they let you do whatever you want whenever you want. And the olden games, it's structured. You have to fucking go from one thing to another in the way they are intending you to do it. And every time you do it, it not only unlocks like new things and ways for you to look at things differently, like with the hook shot. Like outside, there's more quests that start unlocking and more people that you can start talking to as you
Yeah.
progress.
You might have walked by something and been like, man, I wonder what's on, why is that clock tower shaped that way? Like, it feels like I could go up there. And then you get something that could let you go up there. And it doesn't tell you that now you can go up there. But your brain just sees the world differently because of what they've just given you. But in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom,
If you can see
they
something,
give
you
you
can do
all of those immediately. All 4 of the special abilities they give you immediately. 3 in Tears of the Kingdom. And then they let you out on the world.
Which like I like in extent, but like it's a different style game. Like, if you want to play that, yeah. But like you are looking at a challenge, you can always do it. And like when you have no idea what to do, you're just like, I can still do it. So like, what is it? Like I feel like, because like when you unlock a new thing, it's on your mind more, and you like see what you can do with that more often. But like if you're just given everything, you know what I mean? Like you don't like always see all the puzzles you can do, like how you can do it.
Yeah, you don't think about coming back. With a
Yeah,
new
you don't
item.
think about coming back.
And that's why I never replay them. Because, you play Ocarina of Time and you're looking at it from somebody who's just seeing this world. And, you're going through it, you do all that stuff. If you play it a second time, now when you're coming back through, you remember everything you just had. You look up at that building you just walked by and you're like, wait, I bet I could hit that with a bomb and knock it over. I bet I could hookshot up there if I come back here later. That's what gives it that sort of like replay value, in my opinion. But the newer games don't really seem to have that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, I think that's probably been one of the most comprehensive, one of the most focused topics we've ever had.
Yeah, we really dove
I'm
into
very
Nintendo.
passionate about the Nintendo shit.
Yeah, so to sum it all up, fuck
grew up
Nintendo
with
in their
it.
current state.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's really because of the money too. Like, yeah, like,
The money is a main factor.
GTA is they're saying it's gonna be $100.
yeah, like, and I was.
GTA is gonna be $100.
Well, that's like
It's gonna be $100,
that was
that's
like the
what
whole
I'm saying.
like that was like a meme up until now that was a meme. But like after seeing the Mario Kart being $80, I wouldn't be surprised for a second if fucking Rockstar is like, yeah, we can fucking charge $100 for this
Nintendo
shit.
was holding the line with the $60 thing, in every game after Nintendo, because I mean they saved the gaming industry.
I thought that the gaming that like changed to $70 was like that shitty pirate game, right?
Which
It was like called like Skull and Bones. It was like the first like quadruple title game.
Sea of Thieves,
No.
Black Flag.
No. I think it was called like Skull and Bones or something. Maybe Skull and Bones. I don't know. It was like a flop, but it was
Skull and
supposed to be like
Bones,
the
Black
first. It was the first $70 game.
Yeah, so that's my take on it.
It's I mean, and I think this is just something generally like people keep talking about eggs are like $21 now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
What? Like what? How does that even make sense? And the idea too that I guess we'll go. All right? I was gonna go into Trump, but I'll give you guys the option of which topic you'd like to go
We
into.
could
Though.
discuss the trade war that's about to go down, because that is responsible for the Nintendo. Well, not responsible, but it's part of this recurring trend of
It does feed in, yes. The economy is in quite an interesting place right now, and not just the economy, the very nation of the United States of America.
and everyone we're affiliated with.
Not sure if you guys are aware of this. There's some sort of trend on social media. I don't remember what it is now. It's like Dear Americans or something like that, or like Listen to Us Americans or something like that. And what it is people from other countries oftentimes, and sometimes even people from the US, they'll be talking about certain political affairs.
Yeah.
Whether it be Donald Trump saying he wishes to annex Canada or Greenland or any of the other countries that he's claimed he wants to annex. And also just the rhetoric of Trump. They will talk about these things and they will basically try to, like, I don't know, unify everyone, but usually against Trump. Sometimes you also see people trying to unify everyone, but with Trump, these are a lot fewer and further between.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people are turning on him.
A fact with that, I feel like is because that Trump's in office. There's more people against. You're seeing more people against it. You know what I mean? Like, because Trump is in office now, there's more people trying to be against Trump than the people who are for Trump now, because like they already fucking like won. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, you say that, and then we go into the filibuster done by what is it, Cory Booker. So 25 hours.
That shit was fucking crazy. I saw that. I was like, God damn.
Really, it
bro.
went on that long?
And he didn't even want to end it there. He was continuously approached by Republicans that he was sort of associated with,
Who was
telling
he?
him to stop. And he continued for another like 30 minutes.
He keeps doing it.
Who? I don't even know what he was like. What his stance was.
What
I
was
just know
the
he was.
filibuster. Like, can you refresh?
He was
So-
for like some like Republican thing too, but he was
Yes.
like, but he's not a Republican, right? Is it that?
No, he is a Republican. This was done by the Republican Party, from my understanding, and it was because the number one claim was that Donald Trump was performing acts that were anti-democratic, and they truly believe in their minds, like, he was for 25 hours he was professing how much he truly believed.
No sleep.
That no sleep, no food. He only had something like I don't know, maybe 8-10 glasses of water.
Damn.
So he's really
And he
about
stood
it.
up the entire time and didn't have a seat.
That's fucked, bro. I'd be fucking killing myself.
But yes, and so basically the concern is that the United States is approaching a very dangerous place, and it's all Donald Trump's fault, and he's becoming this authoritative, tyrannical force.
A lot of people calling him Hitler.
Yes, that is another big thing too. People believe that he is literally like trying to usurp the United States.
Trying to bring a little fascism into it.
Right.
I don't know.
How much can you do in 4 years? That's the thing I'm thinking about. Like, how much can you do in 4 years?
I mean, he doesn't really have that much authority. He can't really do all these things.
Like, people really think that's gonna happen.
Well,
like he can't. Like
I mean, that does tend to happen though. Like there was a term limit in Mexico until a man named Porfirio Diaz got into office and said,
to be fair though,
no more limit.
Yeah, but you think
Mexico is a very corrupt
Different.
place as it is.
Yeah.
They already had cartels.
So are we.
Well, but we're corrupt in a different way. We're corrupt in like a British way, whereby we still follow bureaucracy.
Right.
It's just superficial.
Our monarchs are the billionaires.
Yes, and the politicians who get to break all the laws they create for us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you, Nancy.
who's oh yo yeah. Speaking of this, this kind of like goes along with it. My professor was saying there was like this thing, it was for like cocaine, and it was like crack. I forget how, like what is like more.
Fentanyl?
No. It's
Heroin?
like
Fentanyl
no,
is
it's
how
coke.
they-
It's coke, but
That's
it's like
how they reasoned the Canada tariff. He was
Crack
like,
cocaine?
he said,
kinda it is, but like so what it is, it's like there's like the poor people, they can only afford one of the things, and the sentence for having like 5 grams of this is the same of if you had like 100 grams of it as a powder, which is more accessible to like more wealthy people.
sounds like fentanyl.
No, it's just fucking coke, bro.
Oh, you are just talking about coke. My bad.
Yeah, I'm just talking about fucking.
It's a liquid coke?
No, it's like I guess it's like the crystal,
Super
Okay.
coke.
and like that's what is like fucking more like if you have like a crystal on you, like a gram or whatever, the sentence could be like 5 years or whatever. It's for an example. I forget exactly what it is, but and then if you have like 100 grams of powder, the same substance, but it's in a powder form, it's like fucking like 5 years, but 100 grams.
And you're saying that so what would like the crack rock be in grams then?
It's I don't know, like a gram, like
Like 1
like
gram?
a couple of
Okay.
grams is like the equivalent of like 100, but like
Yeah.
for sentencing, and that's like going because it's more expensive to get the thing like that is.
Super coke.
Yeah.
So, and that would be weird if it wasn't already known that states like
Yeah.
California use prisoners to make license plates and other things, such
Yeah,
as
manufacturing.
this is a real thing. Yeah, mining. Like that's not just in SpongeBob. That's a real thing.
Like
we
the
are taking
chain gang
people.
rock hitters.
They take people's rights away and force them to do manual labor
For like almost no pay.
for not
For
not
no-
almost no pay. In a lot of states,
No
it's
pay.
literally cents.
That sounds like another thing we did, where we brought over people to do labor for us and didn't give them any money.
Yeah, I mean this is
And I think they made it illegal.
that's the thing is once again going back to that bureaucracy. In places like Europe, it obviously going back to like kingdoms and stuff, that's all normal. You just like you don't like someone or someone you don't agree with how someone's acting, well I own you now. Do whatever I tell you or else you die.
And that's how
That didn't necessarily go away. It just changed and it became more convoluted and the wording is different.
yeah.
The idea that the state of Massachusetts owns all of the land in Massachusetts, and therefore, what does that mean? You are subject to the state of Massachusetts just because you live here.
A little feudalist.
That's exactly what that is.
I think that's going to be.
But how do they word it? It's a public good. Oh, you do it for me, and so that's why you own everything. That makes sense.
Hey. And like you said about things getting more convoluted, I know this is a very I'm going way back with this example, but you gotta I don't know, the Romans, they would do that thing you don't like that thing we're doing? We're gonna kill you.
We're going to crucify
We're gonna
you.
send 1,000,000 guys over to where you're at, and we're gonna fucking kill you.
A crucifixion. Do you know how horrific that is?
That is a terrible way to go.
I mean, literally, just about everything, just about every way that you could suffer. That's what's happening in a crucifixion. Your nerves are pierced. You can hardly breathe
You're
because of
starving.
the angle of your body. It's not pleasant, obviously,
No.
and that's what they just did for fun.
Yeah.
And that also is something that people loved, right? Like people loved Renaissance art. People love to talk about Roman culture. Yes. It's extraordinary that the most evil things appear to be what draws people in the most.
Yeah. Especially if it's in the name of some kind of righteousness, like Trump. He can do whatever he wants as long as it's for America.
for America, and he's
Someone's
even
gonna back him.
he's even going in doubling down on him being religious too, and I find that very interesting. We'll see what happens.
Who went down on that? The filibuster guy?
No, Donald Trump did. He is doubling down on the fact that he is religious, that he is Christian in particular, and
Cool.
it's not. Well, it feeds into just as well though, like this idea of like his southern voters. That's exactly what they want to hear.
Yeah.
Which is probably the majority of his voters when you think about it.
I don't know. I mean, when you look at independents, most people don't go to church nowadays, and so if a majority of people are independents, they're probably
Most
not
people
religious.
don't go to church nowadays, not because they're not religious, but because of people like that fucking pastor that are like, lock them doors. He told the usher to lock the doors, and they were gonna get $20 from every person. You didn't
what?
see this?
Wait, what?
It was like a mega church, and he was like, there's $20. We got 20 or 1,000 people in here, 1,000 people online. We want 20,000 or $20 from everybody. And he was like, ushers, lock the doors. You've never seen that?
This is a real thing.
This is a real thing. Hold on.
And I'll be honest with you. There's another church too. I'm gonna call them out. New Hope. Their pastor.
In the house, I said, close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close
I like
the
how he
doors.
says it. I love how mega their
Close the
pastors
doors.
talk.
1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000
sweat,
to give this,
Yeah, they
that's
really go
$40,000 tonight. Now, everyone up here, we've all sold and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again, it costs to sit up here. And this is what I need you to do. If you're giving electronically,
It sounds like
or even if
Nintendo.
you're giving,
Yeah, for real.
I'm gonna have y'all come to the altar and give it, because I need to see 1,000 people move.
Oh my God.
Bring the baskets. I want the baskets up here. I want to see the folk. Y'all start moving. Y'all can bring it right now. Come. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people need to give $20.
Is this what Jesus
1,000
wanted?
people online need to give $20. I said close them doors.
I said close them doors.
Going back. So that's so surreal. But I'll include that clip obviously.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people ain't.
Send that to me.
Close them doors.
People ain't not going to church because they ain't religious. They ain't going to church because sometimes I feel like they be crazy at church. Some people, like the pastors, they be.
What is New Hope? You mentioned?
Okay, yeah. So it's very similar to this. Going there, they spent.
Where is it?
It's over in Plymouth.
Okay.
And they spent nearly $1 million or so on a new church.
I said close them.
And when I tell you that this church is, well, it's well made, I don't put that lightly. I don't put that lightly at all. I mean, it's definitely worth at least $1 million. And not only that, but the land that it takes up, they have a lot of land.
Does the church need to have all that?
Hey, I just want to say this. Hold up. Pause. Do you not have my number saved?
I do.
Alright, I was gonna say.
No, it's saying that for everybody. Like the pastor just texted me too, and it said maybe
sorry.
the pastor. I was like, I already have his contact. What do you mean maybe?
Sorry to interrupt. I thought that was funny.
I'm sorry that it appeared that way.
So New Hope builds $1 million church.
And I go to just a single service because my mother recommends it. The entire time it feels like he is going on and on about how he isn't seeing the sacrifice that he was expecting.
Sacrifice.
There just wasn't enough money.
Yeah.
He just wasn't seeing enough inflows of cash.
Like, did anyone like raise their hand and be like, "What about like you spent all that damn money on the church? That's why."
And I honestly, and here's the thing too, is I'm trying to be considerate to them. Like maybe they had these grand plans, like I don't know, people would get married there, and people would like kids would go for like daycare stuff. I see it empty. I see it empty, and the only spot that they seem to use is the service spot.
Do you have to like pay to get in at all, or?
No.
No.
But once you're in, if you don't leave fast enough, they will be passing baskets around. And then it becomes a choice. Will I look this person in the face who is asking me for money and say no?
Yeah.
I do that every day when I see a homeless person. I mean,
Sure.
sorry.
Or will I
Tolerant.
or will I submit to this individual who truly believes they are doing the work of God?
Do they?
I'm not sure. Here's another thing that I'll say.
But it's built in that like assumption that the
Yeah.
church, you're assuming everyone there
Yeah.
is trying to serve that all.
Here's the issue though with a lot of these churches, and this is what you're talking about too. Do you know why they feel like they even have the authority to trap people in and
To lock
like
their
tell them what to
doors.
do?
Maybe because they can't go anywhere else. In
Kind
terms of religion,
Kind
like
of,
that's their
but-
religion. They're not.
Yeah, it's going to that idea. So spirituality is what God wanted. That is God in completeness. That is a relationship with God.
Yeah.
Religion is taking bits and pieces, cherry picking, and saying, if you do this, then we'll save you.
Yeah.
That's not what God wanted.
No.
But that's what these religions do. And this is even talking about the one that I'm a part of right now. And it's sort of, as you say, Freddie, it's dissuading, certainly. I go there and, this person has read this portion of the Bible and is now telling it to me. And so I guess now I am an affront to God.
Yeah.
Oh, that this person has read these scriptures and they
So-
studied only these scriptures. I noticed just as well, and I've gone to several Bible studies with this church. They say there's 66 books in the Bible. That's only for the Protestant Bible, so that's not true. And then they only use about 20 of the books within that. So
they're
they're not
picking
even
what they
using the
like.
Bible. They're using their Bible.
I see. What
This
you
is something I need people to understand. It ruins God when churches do what they do,
mean. Yeah. When they
which is
think-
cherry pick. You don't cherry pick God, you get all of God and you share that.
And so when Reverend Green says, "Lock those doors. If you leave, you're going against."
I don't think you could leave.
But if you did, if you were to get up and leave, because of the way
The
it's sort
ushers
of
would-
prefaced,
Who does
you're
who,
going against the church.
Yeah.
Just
and
think
by
about that,
nature,
though.
you're going
And
against
a lot
God.
of people think going against that church means going against God.
But just think
That's how
about
they
that.
get you.
That's why it's better to be religious on your own.
I'll put it this way. Well,
But it's hard.
here's the thing. Yeah, it's hard and it's also much funner with other people.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important that these people who proclaim to be leaders, they actually pay attention to what they're doing. They can, I'll say this once again. This is very similar to my church. I'm guessing this is what's going on with that individual. You get very prideful. He probably thinks, oh, I sacrificed so much, and so that means I deserve everything. I'm entitled to this now. Well, Jesus died just so that people might care about him.
Jesus.
But this
died.
pastor is going to give money so that everyone will give him money? Why?
That's not a sacrifice. It's an investment.
Yeah, that's not a
And
sacrifice.
when an investment fails, then it's a sacrifice.
When-
Yeah.
Jesus wasn't like, okay, guys, I'm gonna save you from God. I gotta die, but when I get back, I want $100 from all of you. Reverend, lock them doors. Ushers,
that's
lock them
absurd.
doors.
How absurd would that be? How
That
absurd
would
would
not. It wouldn't be a religion if he did that. Nobody would have been like, huh?
The greatest aspect of let me articulate this. One of the most beautiful aspects of Christianity and of God is the fact that he gave you free will and a choice. If your pastor removes that, that's ungodly. If you choose to remove that from other people, you are being ungodly. We did go off on a tangent, though. We were supposed to be talking about Trump's tariffs.
Yeah, I forgot.
That was interesting, though. I was into that.
Well, it's okay. When we're going back into beauty and purity, I'll go back into God a little bit.
And mayonnaise.
And mayonnaise.
That mayonnaise.
Thank you, Patrick Starr.
Mayonnaise
So
is
yes,
amazing.
so these tariffs are a very interesting thing. So when he was first coming into office, everyone knew that he had a, what is the word? Like a light on him. Or he was a fire on him. You know what I mean?
Like a spotlight, or do you mean literally?
No, I mean
Metaphorically.
there's like a metaphor where like someone is like, they're sort of very
spotlight?
intense. No, like
I
they're very
think him getting
intense.
shot in the ear was part of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's so
true.
crazy to think about.
Yeah,
Like,
That's kind of why everybody that really won the election.
I know.
A fire was lit in him.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say. And I guess it probably was that. Getting shot in the fucking ear. That was it. And it,
Yeah.
fight.
If these mysterious people are trying to keep me down, I've got to be right.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Um,
If they just
If the government's trying to kill me, I'm probably doing what's best for the people.
And that's what's tricky about it, though, is it's so difficult to discern what aspects of mass media are actually threatening and which aspects they are just saying so that people have this narrative of Donald Trump, that he is dangerous, that he is out of control. It doesn't really make sense that he had served for 4 years, and then when he is about to be done, that's when he now wants to destroy and dismantle America. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, what does he gain from that?
And so I've been trying to just give him time to see what is going on. And so why everyone is concerned and why I say there's a fire lit in him is because he has been doing a lot of executive orders.
There's a lot more happening, it feels like.
And
than before.
well, that's the thing. An executive order is basically Donald Trump overriding our conventional parliamentary system. Legislators are not voting. Donald Trump is just telling America what is going to happen now.
But is it actually happening?
Yes, then
Yeah,
that's
that's
within
right,
his
yeah.
authority to do. The only thing is, once again, the media talks about these orders as if he is literally doing everything he could to make America worse. They say things like he's going back on women's rights. He's going back on LGBTQ rights. He's going back on black civil rights. He's going back on everything. He's saying that immigrants have no rights. I found this interesting. An example of immigrants having no rights. A Republican's wife got deported. Would you like to hear a fun fact?
Yeah.
She was never a citizen of the United States.
They never are.
booted.
Well, I mean,
So I don't understand. And this guy was like, oh, I didn't realize this would happen under Trump.
Yeah, he thought he was invincible to it. Invincible.
Just because you vote for Donald Trump doesn't mean that you are sort of excluded from following the laws. No. These
Only
are the
he
policies
is.
that you wanted. You just didn't understand what it meant.
But that's interesting. Is like truly evil people. They never end up being people who are like, they wake up one day and they're like, I am going to kill all the Jews. I watched a documentary on the Cambodian genocide, which was committed by Pol Pot and his regime.
Pol Pot.
I actually watched a
He
documentary.
killed 25% of his people, his population, his own people.
Do you have the Professor Frank Spalding?
I watched this on my own
Oh,
time.
I was about to say.
Yeah, I watch a lot of like documentaries and just for shits. But Pol Pot, when he totally fucked up. He killed 25% of the entire population in what is one of the worst genocides in modern history. And on his deathbed, a journalist interviews him, and Pol Pot says to this guy, "I need you to believe that everything I did for my country." Even after all that,
So he still believes it?
he
Like,
he
what does
might
that
not, he
mean?
might have been like, "I was wrong," but he was never like, "I hate Cambodia. I want Cambodia to be
He did it.
tariffed and destroyed." He really thought
He was always doing it to what he thought better the country.
Well, yeah,
Those were his
ready?
deathbed words.
You ready for this? This is why Civil Discourse Club is so important to me. This idea of what Patrice O'Neill, a comedian of all people,
Oh,
said.
Patrice O'Neill.
Have your opinions, do not let your opinions have you. As
Mm-hmm.
soon as that happens, everything is funneled through this one idea.
Yeah.
That's
All
how
of a
they
sudden,
control you.
25% of the population, they must be the problem. They are the problem. I've decided that. And then you do something about it, and you make everything worse. I don't know if Donald Trump's doing that per se.
Only time will tell.
Once again, it's so tricky. It's not like he doesn't like immigration, obviously. He's married to an immigrant. But
I mean, yeah, I don't understand like what people like. It kind of pisses me off. Like people are like mad that other people who are here illegally are like people are like, oh, I know what's it called, a person from Mexico. Just because they're fucking from Mexico doesn't mean they're an illegal immigrant. I don't understand that.
yeah, and people also say too that they're ripping families apart. Well, ideally, the entire family would be deported back, and that's even what the ICE officers said. The only issue is they act like they are criminals, and so they try to elude. And when that happens, they get separated.
Okay.
Um,
And if you're immigrating illegally, you're a criminal.
yeah, so it's weird to me. Like, if you know what you're doing is wrong, why would you then try to just say, oh no, it's okay? That's so bizarre to me. You can't you can't eat your cake and have it too.
Yeah, you're talking about the Republican guy with his wife, right?
Well, I mean that's just another thing. I'm just generally speaking, like once again, it's like they hear everything that Donald Trump is saying, but as soon as they see it be done, it's like they forget.
It does affect them. They realize too late.
But it's strange though. Like, it's not like ICE is going around killing all these people.
No.
With that being said, I do 100% agree it is absurd to literally fucking airdrop Mexicans back into Mexico. I think that is absurd.
This shit ain't Fortnite, man.
That's insane.
And that's really what they did too.
Are they actually doing that? They're just like
that's
parachuting
real.
them off the
Yes,
fucking-
I'll include the clip of that just
But it's
in
like
case there's any.
See, like that's just
Fortnite did ruin everything.
yeah. Fortnite ruined everything. I
Because
told
you
you.
say that, now the first thing I think of is the battle bus.
Yep.
Jumping off, everyone's got their pig gliders going down to
I
Mexico.
hope they'll thank the bus driver.
All I know is I hope at least one of the motherfuckers had to land on a golden scar and wipe the entire lava.
All right. So yeah.
That's what
I
like
don't
you
know how
say
this-
like that right there like sums up my like political view. Like, yeah, like people here illegally, so they shouldn't. We have to probably yeah. It's, you know what I mean? Like we shouldn't have illegal people here, but like. Why are we sending them back on fucking? Why are we airdropping them back into the fucking?
Probably
what's it called?
cheaper, I guess.
I guess, but like
The issue is that Mexico didn't even accept them.
No.
Like,
just
they
take your people back.
Can you just imagine that though? People escape from your country. The country to which they escaped from brings them back, and you say no.
low key, like I kind of get that.
I get why they would.
Yeah, like,
100% though.
I get why the Mexico would be like, I don't fucking you left us. Why would we want you here? You didn't want to be here. Why do we want you here?
But what obligation?
I mean, they should have to take them back.
And that's
but-
another thing too. And people talk about asylum too, and that's so tricky. That's so tricky because Mexico is not quite what it used to be. Sure, the cartel is still there and it's still corrupt, but in terms of their economy, the United States is coming back to Mexico and they're doing a lot better. So to say that they are seeking asylum, that's a very particular word. That is a legal
What does
term.
that mean?
Means they're
Asylum,
looking for like refuge from a
Yes.
bad place.
whether it be war torn or if it's
Like
highly
Syria.
corrupt. No.
Wait, so do we have? If something like that happens, do we have to take them?
We have a particular set of procedures for those individuals. It's not immediate. Okay,
Yeah.
you're from this place. Come on in. No, it's all right. We'll be a little bit gentler to you. I don't think they have to pay, for instance.
Since like realistically, if there wasn't a war going on in the country, they would probably have stayed there, like that type of shit.
That and just the idea that the United States is proclaimed to be the place of liberty. And so if you wish to achieve liberty from such things, such as pain, suffering, and warfare, the United States can't just double back on that and say, actually, your place is too shitty for us.
Yeah. There was,
True.
Except for they did do that with Middle East and Asia. And so it's it's hypocrisy. It's all hypocrisy. It's all human law.
Corruption.
Yes.
It's all rotten. You ever see the Family Guy bit about the border? Little
I don't know.
brevity. It's a single picket fence, like a single square of it, and there's a white guy with a double barrel shotgun on the other end. And this Mexican guy comes up and he's like, "Hey, what if I go this way around the fence?" And he points a gun and goes, No, go back over there. He's like, "What if I go over the fence?" And the guy's like, no going over the fence. And he's like, and the Mexican's like, "Well, you should really just build a better fence. I could help you." He's like, "All right, well, only if you come over this side." On this side of the fence.
Yeah.
I know, yeah, we let them all over here, and we benefit off their cheap labor, and
Like that was the
now
whole
we just want to put them in a box and send them back.
It's well.
But that's
The other part of that too is yes, like there is a system. I say system, but there is a sort of concept where people from foreign nations will go to the United States because of the high salaries, and you even see that here at
And we
BSU.
send it back.
Like there's programs literally with this school where like there are people who are just waiters or actually not even, there are people who are lawyers in like, I don't know, Ukraine and Russia, places like this. They come to the United States to become waiters, to become hotel lobbyists. They end up making double the income and sending that back home.
Jesus Christ.
So once again, we are a place of liberty. We are a place that at least tries to help. Like
those people are
that's
legal
what
citizens,
we say anyway.
Yeah.
right? Those people are legal citizens.
Well, they get green cards. They're not necessarily citizens. It's more so they are allowed to be here, so
I
long
think-
as they're employed.
It's not so much like Mexicans up north as it is Haitians.
I
There's a
think
lot of
it's-
Haitians in Massachusetts.
The one thing I want to say is like I think that we should do a better job.
And Cape
at-
Verdeans.
A lot of Cape Verdeans too, but all the Haitians that I work with, and granted, I'm not a high level job. I meet a lot of people from other countries, and every Haitian like sends a huge amount of money back home to
Yeah.
Haiti. And even though they're getting scammed out of paying too much for car insurance and kept down by all other nonsense, they're still sending all their money back home.
Well, that's that's how they are breadwinners, and I think that's so extraordinary. Like the idea that, do you know why that's the case?
Well, what's the case? That they're
Why they just think about that. Why would someone have to leave where they live to go somewhere else just so they can provide for their family?
because we got the goods.
Yes, and that's a really big issue.
I guess that's what the tariffs are about.
Yes, in no small part, the United States it's not just a country. We've talked about this before. We have military bases all over the world. We are, in a lot of instances, the only thing separating China and Russia from utter world domination.
Right.
Economically, I mean, Donald Trump has talked about this profusely. Our contributions to things like NATO, our contributions to things like the World Bank, our contributions to all of these international organizations, significantly higher than anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, we have like 14 aircraft carriers. I think the second most is China with like 5.
Yeah, and they have that for themselves. We have that for everyone else. And I find it so obtuse too that these same countries will then double back and talk badly upon the U.S. Like, your education levels are low. You don't have free health care.
Yeah.
Well, that's because our citizens are going over to your countries to fight your battles.
We got a bunch of idiots who are willing to just pick up a gun and stand at your wall for no reason other
no
than we
reason.
tell them to.
They literally live in your country just in case something bothers you, and you have the audacity to say, well, you guys aren't smart enough.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you think we should defund education?
Maybe more soldiers.
So here's the thing. This was a big issue that I had to go over for college, of course, not in high school. They didn't give a fuck. They just wanted more money. In college, though, it's almost like a parabola. After a certain amount of influx of cash, schools don't improve in sort of how their students are able to succeed. It's more so just they have more shit. And even more so than that, the teachers, the faculty will actually just start to abuse the money. They will be wasteful with the resources. What's the answer then, Freddie?
You're gonna say defund the education?
It's not about defunding. It's about putting the money where it should be. You don't need more technology. You need better teachers.
Yeah,
True.
facts.
True.
If you pay teachers more money, they're going to care more,
Right.
and they're going to be able to do more with whatever they have.
More people are going to want their jobs.
There's going to be more
True, but yeah,
competition.
more
I mean,
more
that's
funding for the
It's not even
I'm
like
not
that.
necessarily
better
like
teaching
whatever.
materials.
They already have unions, so they'll be okay in terms of competition. But
That's just better for the kids.
it's better for everyone. Why don't we do it though?
Because people agree.
Because other countries do it for us.
What do you mean?
Well,
We also have some of the highest or the most advanced collegiate institutions in the world. People come to the U.S. for things like MIT and for Harvard, for Yale, for Columbia, for Wharton.
but a lot of them are like Asian or Indian.
That's true.
I went to a lab once, and most of the people there were either from India or China.
It depends
Here?
too, though.
They have
on-
such
A
a
BSU
brutal-
lab?
No,
Yeah.
not here.
No,
went to
even
a
here,
totally-
yeah.
I went to a
It
place where
depends,
they
though.
pulled eyes out of rats of my own volition. I didn't enjoy that as much as I thought I would. But
When?
this was just like when we were in Dr. Bill's class. I take side quests sometimes.
Damn, how did I
But,
never know that?
just hold on, just a second. We did hit the hour mark, so
Alright.
we're just gonna take a quick break here. We love you, ladies and gentlemen.
We're back to school. Denim haircut. Backpacks, come get your backpack.
Boots and pants.
New shoes.
Get yourself an outfit.
Denim
Boots and pants.
Haircut.
new shoes. So get yourself back to school with these tips.
Haircut.
All right, we're back from the commercial break.
Yeah, Darren just started talking to the mic
Yeah,
and
we
was off.
already started. We already got going again.
No, it's just once you start the podcast, it just becomes a part of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
What if somebody came up with a podcast but with no microphones and recording, and instead 3 guys sat around and talked to each other? Somebody should try that.
You mean a conversation?
Oh, me.
You know, have you seen that like animated show about the podcast? He like goes on adventures or whatever in like different dimensions or some shit. I don't even.
Oh, the Midnight Gospel.
Yeah,
You know what that is? That's an actually, that's a conversation.
I think we talked.
Yeah,
Yeah, we talked
no, I
about
was
that.
setting that up. You alley-ooped it.
So yes, Midnight Gospel, absolutely love that show. Duncan Trussell is an incredible individual. His mother, what a
That
beautiful
was a
lady.
sad episode.
No, but yes, but I think it's very important. You're
Talking
gonna.
about TV. What's it called? I gotta go.
I mean, it's like the best episode.
I'll put it. This the most gentle way for me to put it is love is not always on time. There's
Love isn't always on time.
Hold the
Yes.
line.
There's gonna be moments in your life where you're gonna feel empty, and it's because something that you used to have is gone from you.
Mm.
And there's two ways to look at this. It's either you have to live the rest of your life trying to make up for that loss,
Find a replacement.
or you just accept the fact that that is merely a part of you, that you are more than that.
And you just
They-
gotta let the fuck go.
When you say let go, it's more than that. It's appreciating it in its completion.
Mm.
It happened. It's a part of you. But it doesn't have to be all of you.
No.
And so that episode is a very great example of that. I mean, your mother. Who could be closer to you than that? And the idea that you could be watching her waste away because she has cancer.
It's surreal.
That's sad.
It's
That's very
terrible.
sad. At the end, what message does she give to him?
I think you should say it.
That love,
Do you not know it?
it's not going anywhere.
Love.
Doesn't matter if she's dead. Doesn't matter if she's in Boston.
Hmm.
The love will always remain.
That is true. It shapes you. You gotta let these things shape you. I feel like you said, with having opinions versus having opinions take over you, there's a lot of people stuck in like nostalgia nowadays, trying to, and I guess with Nintendo too,
Well, they get so
trying to
comfortable.
capture something that, like, I was a child once and I got to experience technology as a child. And I feel like I'm part of me. When I'm expecting the Switch to blow my mind, I'm just expecting that to
You're
happen
expecting the
again.
Switch 2 to blow your mind?
I was expecting a new console to be like, okay, Nintendo console, because every time one has come out, as I was growing up, I was excited for it. This is the first big console release I'm not even remotely excited for, and I think I'm just getting old.
I didn't care about the Switch 1. Say that.
I was excited for that.
I didn't get it until
You
like
snack.
years later. I thought it was really cool. Like,
I'm just glad we're recording again.
oh yeah, we're recording now. But yeah, and I don't know. Like, I've never been excited for a console drop. Actually,
Never.
never. I had an Xbox One, and like I didn't have a console before that. I got it for Christmas. Like I was like, oh yeah, I think I'm gonna get an Xbox One. Like I was excited, but like I wasn't like.
What was your first console? Handheld or otherwise?
I guess I had like a Wii, like it was my family Wii,
The
and then I
Wii.
had a
DS.
DS, yeah, and then like my own DS. Me and my brother each had our own DS, and then we started getting onto the what's it called?
What is like the flippy thing? Like it looks like a flip phone.
Game Boy.
Cute,
I had a Game Boy.
You had a Game Boy?
I did.
I had a DS, but a Game Boy.
And I would play this one Mario game too. And I don't remember what it was, but yeah, me and my brothers.
Was it Mario Land?
It might have been. Might have been. Did that feature Mario and Princess Peach on the game card?
I don't know.
That's all I remember. Is that image, and then I would not lick it, but I would have to blow.
Yeah, I remember blowing it.
And yeah, that's nostalgic right there.
There will always be dust. Forever.
My what's it called? My most nostalgic game ever will always be Ocarina of Time. I think that would probably be my favorite game ever I'll ever have played.
Ocarina of Time. And then, but would it have been your favorite of all time if you played it now?
Probably not.
I think being young really is a huge aspect
Yes.
of that wonder. You do lose that. But
That ties in really well to purity.
yeah, you were pure.
like Minecraft is my most played game of all time. If it came out today, I would probably have not even a fraction of the fucking time I've played Minecraft.
Like you said with purity, I feel like I've just been tainted by how much shit there is now.
And I think Minecraft is a great example of that too.
Yeah.
You start out with something so simple and it's so pure. You just do whatever you want. And then they add all this bullshit. There's pillagers now. There's villagers now. There's cave systems. There's these fucking blobfish that
Yeah,
will
and it doesn't
make
feel
you
like
blind.
you can do anything.
It
There's
make-
so
yeah.
much.
And now it
'Cause it's so
becomes
shallow.
Yeah,
Shallow.
there's all this cosmetics instead of just
Yeah.
what Minecraft
Like,
was, just
that's
freedom.
That's the newest update. Or I mean, there's like the gas, which is pretty cool. But like the other part of the update is just like they added like different skins for the cows, chickens, and pigs, and like some of the mobs.
Terraria, though, if you're really looking for like a Minecraft type game, and you don't mind 2 dimensions. Terraria does everything Minecraft does wrong, and they do it right.
Mm.
They've released their last update 5 times now. Like every time they release an update, and not just an update where they're like, now you can find an axolotl that does nothing.
Axolotl.
In Minecraft, there's axolotls now. They don't
Okay.
do anything. But Terraria, like they'd go back and they'd rework how all the melee weapons work because people were they didn't think it was where it should be. They didn't add a new final boss. They went back and they changed the fundamental aspects of it to make doing whatever you were already doing more fun. Minecraft just adds more shit that you don't even really want to do. They make it easier to farm for stuff, and farms get old.
No, they just make it fucking boring. They just like do nothing. Their updates are like absolutely nothing.
It's a shame.
Hmm.
They-
It's a consequence too, though, of what you were talking about before, and I think this is a big issue with these video games, where they have something that worked so well, and then they just try and milk it.
And people will just keep expecting more.
Yeah, and well, it's because too of what you said though. That initial experience of something new and something that just worked, as Todd Howard loves to say, it's so appealing. But you don't ever get that again. You might get hints of it, but it's not the same thing. And the idea that you're making a video game so that people can try and, I don't know, hold on to this nostalgic feeling. So it's not even about the video game at that point. It's just about the money,
Yeah, and the image, the branding.
the brand. Yeah.
And I remember the first time I ever played Minecraft. I was 7 years old, and it was the only thing I wanted for my birthday. And I just remember still, to this day, the first house I ever built. And all I did was make a shitty rectangle,
Yeah.
go into the shitty rectangle, and put up a torch and stand by it, and because it was snowing outside. Now I would look at that and be like, oh, I'm a retard who built a box and stood in it. But back then, it felt like I had built a cabin, and I was taking like refuge from the
Yeah.
outside world.
It was-
I'm never going to get that back.
Yeah. Never.
Because it
When you
didn't
try,
tell me to
like-
do that. It just gave me the blocks, and I
Yeah,
did it.
that too. When they start you in with the tutorial,
Mhm.
that ruins it in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Tutorial.
It's just not Minecraft anymore. It's something else.
And there's so many decoration blocks that, again, that was my cabin. Now it was like, that's kind of ugly. It's kind of.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And like, you know what ruined it a little bit too? YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh,
You just-
and all the playthroughs, yeah.
Yeah, because like I'm just thinking about it now, and like everything I did in like Ocarina of Time, my favorite game, I did for the first time ever. And
That too, but can I have that if I have your water?
what do you mean? That's yours. This is mine. You gotta have that.
All right, thank you.
Every single thing I did in that game, I did for the first time
Thank you.
ever. Like myself, I figured it out. I did it, and like even now to this day, like I do things like in the games like myself. But like there's always, even if I'm not looking for it, like you see like games that you're playing everywhere. Like on TikTok, I'll scroll and see like fucking Echoes of Wisdom. It's not even like that big of a game, but like I'm still seeing it on my screen and people like giving
They're
tips.
milking it.
Yeah.
They're milking
People
it.
are like,
yeah, giving tips. I always see stuff like that. It's like new exploit for this.
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, how to get unlimited gold.
And it's, I don't know. It's not like that ruins the game, but definitely, yeah, it removes that exploration feel and that personality, that personability.
and that's the thing. Like there could be like there's not like
Maybe it
it's
has
not
to
that
do-
there's no exploits in these old games, but like because of
You have to-
when they came out and whatever everything, if you got an exploit, you more than likely it was you that figured it out, and you like so like it
And
feels
that
a
made
little
it
bit better.
cooler.
Yeah, that made
Yeah.
it cooler.
Or you heard about it on the playground.
Yeah, or like
Yeah.
so yeah, one of your
From
friends
the-
told you
from
about it.
the
You're like, oh, I
brother.
want to go home and try that out.
Now you can just immediately look up, how do I get through the big red door in
Yeah.
the dungeon?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I find myself doing that way more than I'd like to
Yeah,
admit.
Hollow Knight a little bit.
Like in video games, like I end up like
Using the internet.
yeah, using the internet when like I can't figure something out. I'm just like honestly like I'd rather just go fight the boss. I don't care to spend any more time on this. How do I do it?
Yeah. Rush it.
Which like not having that and figure it out on your own, yeah, you might just want to go to the boss, but it feels way more satisfying to get to the boss because you had to figure out what you're doing.
Yeah. There's definitely levels to the experience. And for the most part, games nowadays don't really care about the highest level.
Yep.
It's just about milk it.
Yep.
And the idea of brands, it's so annoying. What you said is true. Like, if Donkey Kong, if Mario, if they were not included in a lot of these $80 games, no one cares.
Yeah.
But it's because they're in there.
They have too much of an image now
Yeah.
to not be exploited.
Yeah. And
To be milked. Because Mario is the best character ever.
we gotta kind of be quick here.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
Yeah, should we, yeah, let's talk about what's it called.
We could save.
Let's talk about tonight's biggest loser real quick, should we?
Yeah, we'll go. Okay, yeah. Breaking news on the story that we talked about.
Yeah, we
before.
talked about Joe Gatto being a fucking whatever. Now, to touch on Joe Gatto, like, one thing he did do is he, like, checked himself into, like, some, like, thing or whatever. Like,
Yeah, they keep saying that they're going to rehab.
Yeah,
I don't
for what?
understand. Yeah, I don't know what that means.
like, the one thing that he did, like, that we know he did was cheat on his wife. And, like, that one girl that first came out about it, like, came out and said that, like, it wasn't any, like sexual assault. It was, like,
No. She was down to clown.
yeah, but...
With the Joker.
So I don't, but like but him going into rehab is a little sketchy. Like maybe there was another girl. I actually don't know much about it.
I think that might just be an image thing, though.
I think it is. Because
Yeah.
I actually
It
did
fits a
see
little
like a
bit.
lot of things, and most of it was kind of bullshit. For the most part.
The message that Joe had released, you can tell that they're obviously working with like PR agencies and stuff like that, and lawyers.
Yeah.
It's all very, it makes me feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now talking about James Murray, he is on a different level. Regardless if it was, like this. The thing with him is it was a 16-year-old that he was talking to.
Murr,
Yeah.
that is the. If you were to
was
Google a
Joker.
picture of a pedophile,
Yeah.
Murr would show up. Not even because he is one per se, but just because he looks like
He has
it.
pedo vibes.
Yeah, he does. But and apparently he.
I knew it couldn't be one of them. I knew there wasn't just one Joker.
But the thing is,
Something.
Joe, he might have, whatever it was, they were all overage. I mean, yeah, like they were young, but like they were still 18 plus. Murr is technically talking to some underage girls. The one person I really just don't want to see this is because it's my favorite, and I like,
Sal.
yeah, it's
Sal.
Sal. Like he has a podcast with like Chris Stefano, who's a comedian, and Joe DeRosa, who's another comedian. He has 2 different podcasts with them, and each of them have like 150 episodes plus. And I've watched all of that, like 300 podcast episodes of him. He's so
To be fair, Sal, compared to the rest of the Jokers, definitely seems like the
Pure.
most
Yeah.
ethical guy.
Yeah.
I think I'll say pure. Sure.
like think about this. He has a what's it called?
You can't watch TV and expect the people you're watching to be heroes.
Yeah, I mean, I always never expected them to be heroes. I expected them to be like a decent guy, though. You know what I mean? I expect at least to just. You're not
Yeah,
fucking
to
assaulting. You know
do
what I mean?
normal things.
Yeah, you're not assaulting sexually.
Hey, go have a beer with your friends. You don't have
Yeah.
to grope a 16-year-old.
But apparently, Sal's had a wife. Like this was never talked about on the show, and he like recently probably he has the kid now, but he was having a fucking kid, and they stopped the podcast, and he was like having a family, or whatever. But like he like all the other ones, they like present their life, they have wives, they talk about, but like he was fucking secretive of his shit. So I feel like that's another good thing about it. You don't need to bring your fucking family in the
You don't
public
need to
eye.
know about the people
Yeah.
you're watching.
Yeah.
Why don't it? It feels like so rampant now too. Specifically, this case, they're like this celebrity was actually sleeping with a 16-year-old, and then
Well,
they find all their friends were doing it too, and their friends and their managers and etc.
TMZ
Sad.
and paparazzi, stuff like that was already bad enough. And then you had Kim Kardashian and the Kardashians with their television show. And this introduced this whole idea that, oh, it's actually okay to be involved in every aspect of someone's life
we should
just
know.
because people know about them.
We should know what they're doing all the time.
And that's very arduous for these celebrities. I mean, you can hear so many songs about it, like what's his name? I think it's like Danny Brown or something like that. A lot of these rappers in particular, they struggle with fame.
Maybe that's why they went to rehab. All that damn attention. I would go to rehab if I was getting bombed like that.
It's hard. It's hard.
True.
I mean, think about it like this too. It's like, it's not like people are walking up to them to say normal things. They're walking up to say, "Oh, I love your show." And going back to those pastors, it's very easy to be prideful. It's very easy to get conflated and to get confused about what your purpose is.
And you start to think you can get it. The law doesn't apply to you.
Well, even more than that, you start to think that there's no consequences to your actions. People just love you.
You're too big to fail.
Yeah.
But I wasn't expecting that this year anyway.
What was it? Sorry.
Any of this.
Oh, yeah,
Of
the
the
Joker
Practical Joker stuff.
Oh,
I
so
thought they were just like washed. I didn't know they were
Well,
still doing stuff.
Too big to fail. I think that's a great way to segue to KKK West.
Oof.
Yeah, so I'll include an image of this. He's over
that's
here.
crazy.
He is wearing a KKK getup in all black.
Who was the guy he was with that was interviewing him? Fuck, I forget his name. Academic? Is it like that
Is it
guy?
academics? I think you might be thinking of.
It's just so
Charlemagne.
funny. Oh yeah, man. But he was just like sitting in the corner of the couch and looking at him. And you see fucking Kanye just walking. Kanye just walking with a fucking whole KKK getup going.
Sir. How you doing, brother? Good, chill. That's crazy. Yeah, man. Kept it light.
To leave yesterday, but then I was, I was gonna do the interview with you yesterday, and
Yeah.
I was doing it earlier, and blah blah. And
Nah, I seen the online shit. I'm like, damn, what the fuck is happening?
yeah, so I just got like a little bit exhausted from that bullshit. It was just
I get it.
moving shit out the way.
Put this on. This guy, man. Wow. A little saucy in here, right? A little hot. Hat forward or backwards? My hat. Not the other hat. My hat. This way? Or this way? This is like the classic look. Yo, I've been trying to take off my hat for a while. You know what I mean? Don't let it go over your head.
Where's that sit? Right here?
Wherever you want. You can sit right here. Yeah. What do you think? Okay. So it's like magnetic. So one goes in here. Oh shit! I think it fell. Oh yeah.
Hold on a second. I think the best place for the photo. Can we move that to the side? Damn, can't move this shit up. It'll be like here, or.
Bro, you're just a designer at heart, man. Like,
I need to get a very, like if you had that chair.
If we had like two of them, right, it would probably work. If you're looking for that type of look.
I should just stand.
I don't know. I don't even know who the interview was with. I just heard about this story from a friend, and I think it ties in well to just everything that's been going on with him. It all started, as you may or may not be aware, with the death of Donda West.
Donda.
Wait, what?
Donda
Yeah,
West.
talking about losing your mother.
Yeah, so...
Oh. Wait, is his son's name Adonis?
No, that's Drake.
Oh shit, yeah. That's why I got me confused. I thought, yeah. Sorry, I was all mixed up with my people.
It's okay. There's a lot of people...
So his mom died, and that's what kind of set him off.
Yes, and this is when he made the vest that had Donda on it, and he said, I'm going to run for president. And after that, I think that was exemplary for the fact that he was obviously going through a lot, and that his bipolar depressive episodes were probably flaring. Makes sense.
He was already pretty unstable, and then his mother died.
On top of that, too, his relationship with Kim had become shaky, and it was only worsening with his presidential campaign. He divorces Kim Kardashian. He then starts dating another female. Once again, exemplary for what's going on in his head. He starts trying to literally change her into Kim Kardashian, basically.
And she left him too, right?
Yes, they got a divorce.
What about the one that who's the girl that he had on the fucking, what's it called? Like, whatever, red carpet for baby or something, and she had like a coat on and like a see-through thing underneath, and she just fucking took it off.
That might have been her. I'm not sure, though. Like, it got to the point, though, where this female's family was so concerned for her that they like requested that she be taken away from Kanye.
Yeah.
And she listened to them and was taken away from Kanye.
Probably should.
Okay. And now, well, even before what happened now with KKK West, and this wearing a whole getup, he was saying a lot of dicey things regarding Hitler. Saying a lot of dicey things regarding Jews. Some might say he was anti-Semitic.
Yeah, he was wearing the Klansman fit. That's not mine.
And now there's this.
None of this is yours?
That's all me.
Oh shit, can I have a piece then?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's something that I really want to be gentle with because it's so easy to just attack someone who's being different, who's being deviant. It's not so easy to understand why. He's a very complicated individual.
Yeah.
He's been through a lot.
He's insane.
And it's almost impossible to try to understand his actions because he's done so much.
Yeah.
And he's so sort of...
He's embedded in the culture.
Yeah, sophisticated. The question is, though, why do you think in the midst of all of this, he decided to turn away from Jesus?
I don't think Jesus would like what he's up to.
I don't know what he's doing. Wouldn't be fucking very Jesus-like.
Kanye said that he asked Jesus in particular for many prayers, one of which was to save his mother. Do you know how she died?
How?
She got a breast surgery, and she was killed in the process.
Oh.
So it wasn't like natural?
It wasn't natural.
Damn.
Kanye tried to pray for her life, and Jesus didn't answer. And so he assumed Jesus didn't care about him.
So was his mother.
The significance of Donda cannot be understated in what is happening now.
Maybe her getting sick is why he turned to Jesus.
And then he thinks...
Well, he was always into Jesus. I mean, one of his first songs, Jesus Walks, right? And even Through the Wire, he's talking about his relationship to God.
But then he made a whole album, Jesus is King.
Yes, and he made the gospel album.
I don't know if this is a popular opinion. I don't think Kanye's a Nazi.
It's not that simple. The idea of him calling himself... All right, and just going into this too, why doesn't he like Jewish people? It's not because he's just racist.
I thought he does now. I thought Jonah Hill turned it back. Is he back on that again?
I believe he did go back on it.
I think it is just a cry for help.
I do a little bit agree with that.
Well, think about it like this. So the only issue he has with Jewish people is just the fact that it all started with them owning his masters. So Kanye West makes these songs, he puts his heart and soul into these songs, and then just because this label decided to sign him so that he would get marketed more, they own everything now.
Yeah.
That's very frustrating from a creative standpoint.
For sure.
Yeah.
Is it so frustrating that you want to kill all the Jews? I don't know. But once again, this isn't just your average guy. This is someone with bipolar depressive disorder.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's an extreme.
We're seeing a guy that if he didn't have the fame and money he has, he would be institutionalized.
Yeah.
Like, that's just simply what it is.
He wouldn't be on like the FBI's most dangerous.
I know, but
Nazis.
he would be somewhere where
he'd be some crazy crackhead.
Probably either that. He'd be somewhere where he's literally getting help because he's going through mental fucking mental disability, whatever.
But he's rich, so it's eccentric.
And people, well, I don't know. Like people still attack him though. Like I'm saying before, like to a certain extent, people are now trying to compare him to being a domestic terrorist. And when it gets to that point, vilifying him, once again, this is not a normal guy. And it reminds me so much of when we were talking about school shooters. It's so easy to just attack them. Like, why would you want to kill other people? Like, what are you, an idiot? Well, when in your mind, everything is in ruins, and the only way that you could possibly express yourself is through doing something horrifically drastic, that's what you're going to do. It's just not that simple.
He just got pushed. Life pushed him to a point.
Purity.
But we shouldn't be, what's it called? That thing, yeah, you're true, but like, so he should be deplatformed in a sense. Like,
it makes a lot of sense for him to work on himself as opposed to trying to express himself to all these people. It doesn't make sense.
And deplatforming him isn't going to make him not a Nazi.
Okay, but like that's the thing about it. Like, yeah, but he's saying like people.
No one's seeing Kanye do this. A few people at least are seeing Kanye do this and turning into Nazis.
Yeah, but like he's saying people are vilifying him. So to stop that, and what should be happening is he should be fucking not like there should be people in his life stopping him from doing this
He
shit
should go to
publicly.
rehab.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess that's another issue though. Like he doesn't have his wife. He rapped on songs. Kim hardly letting him see his children. His mother's gone.
His music is owned by someone else.
His music is on. Someone.
Bro ain't got nothing. I guess that's part of it.
Nothing
So-
but money.
It must be so sort of frustrating, and he must feel so trapped. And once again, the only way that he can sort of escape that is through this ridiculous expression. It's very,
Sad.
well, it's somewhat beautiful though, isn't it?
Interesting.
Bro seeing beauty in
The
fucking.
beauty of the crash out.
Well, here's the thing.
Bro seeing beauty in things we couldn't even begin to ponder.
I mean, if it was Job, he would have just prayed and got a donkey, but this is Kanye. Kanye crashed out.
No, it's not even that simple. I mean, even Moses crashed out.
True.
Even King David crashed out. No one is expected to be perfect. Do you know what's beautiful though?
What?
Persistence.
Mm.
And
So-
he's persistently,
Just putting himself out there.
as a Nazi.
Even
no,
in
he's-
general, every time he goes out, he's getting clowned.
Yeah, like for everything too. He makes a gospel album, and church leaders are chastising him.
Mm-hmm.
How does that make any sense?
Where do you belong, Kanye?
Like he even said that. It makes me feel like nobody loves me. So,
And they don't. No.
His response is to hate everyone.
huh?
Yeah, so he just hates
He
everyone.
turns around and hates everyone.
It's just so it's annoying though. Like the only thing that he needs is a conversation with someone who cares. And the
But the thing
only
is-
thing he's neglecting is the people in his life.
Yeah, and it's at a point where, like, how are you going to make new
What, do you even
people?
listen to reason at this point?
How do you
Do you
make.
think he could be brought back from this at
The
all?
only thing that can reasonably best logic, my friend, is love.
And he's going for hate.
But if no one loves him
It doesn't
right
mean he won't
now,
find love.
who's going to love him? Like, who's going to grow to love him as he is right now?
It's very easy to
Maybe that's
love
what he's
people
after.
who love us. Do you know what's really hard though, Freddie?
To love people who hate us?
To love people who don't love you, yes. The idea that you could give and there's nothing to receive. Once again though, going back to the pastor. You're not doing any of these things because you expect something. You are doing it for the service itself, for the other person. And when I say Jesus, Jesus doesn't need to receive it. When Kanye receives it from Jesus, there we go.
But love isn't always on time.
Love isn't always on time. It doesn't mean it's not going to be on the right time though. God is slow. It doesn't mean he's not perfect.
He's patient.
Yes. You speak of the beauty. It's not beautiful to experience bad things. What is beautiful is to endure bad things that you may grow and learn from it.
Yeah.
That you may make the world a better place because of your suffering. How beautiful is that?
No, you are completely correct about that. I like
Yeah.
that.
And that's the art of suffering.
To have a soul, you've got to suffer.
To care,
But you can't let
even when it
it.
doesn't make sense.
You can't let it get you.
Hmm.
His opinions have him.
I think in a lot of ways, yeah. He's probably attacking himself. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure he probably blames himself for not being able to
Save his
maintain
mother.
his relationship.
Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah, maybe his mother, but maintaining his relationship with Kim anyway.
And
I
his,
mean,
and his
he's wearing
kids.
the Klan hat. He's black.
He is
He's
black.
black in America.
Yeah, well, he even talks about that too, though, where like he sort of doesn't associate with the blacks in America. You know, it's so weird though. He dresses like the blacks in America. He doesn't associate with them, right? He talks about things like buying our own chains and being glorifying this sort of rat race-esque thing.
Yeah.
But he does it, and so
He plays the game and he hates it.
yeah, it's very beautiful though in a sort of artistic way.
Maybe he will just make a crazy rebound from it and make something beautiful out of it. Maybe he'll find. I mean, if food tastes the best when you're hungry, maybe in this absolute state of hate and degeneracy, love could give him a serious rebound. If not a model that he wants to parade around.
Yeah.
If he can find a human being that truly like loves him through all of this, I think that Kanye can be saved.
Who's going to love him through all this?
That's the question.
If they are, if they don't love, like, if they don't already love him, who could love him through, like,
He's
through
probably
this?
thinking the same thing though.
If that person, whoever they may be, can accept that one of the very best instruments is mayonnaise.
Ooh. Mayonnaise is good.
And it'll be perfectly fine.
Someone's got to just make a good sandwich.
True.
Homemade.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
Mayonnaise an instrument?
No, Patrick. Speaking of purity, SpongeBob. What a show.
So good.
That is the art of nostalgia.
They're milking it now.
They are, and they're milking it now.
They're
Everything.
milking it now, though, yeah. The latest episodes, the artwork's strange, the story's strange, the sense of humor, strange. But it's still SpongeBob.
Yeah.
You still got
And
fucking
there's a
Tom
lot of-
Kenny in the fucking lab cooking it up.
A lot of SpongeBob spin-offs too now.
Yeah,
Like
Camp
Patrick
Coral.
Show and Camp Coral.
Oh, yeah. And they got all the movies, too. It's
I
quite a
saw
franchise.
like the thing about like
Games.
the Camp Coral show. It was like just on my TV. I just turned my TV on. It was on, and I was like, oh, this is the new SpongeBob episodes. And I thought it was like a flashback. Like that's what they like, the animation looks like it's like a flashback of a SpongeBob show. They're trying to like be a little different to show you that it's like
Not the same show.
yeah, not the same fucking time or whatever.
It's a different direction.
Yeah.
Characters always do these like, it's almost like the farming reaction images. The characters always do these crazy expressions.
The clip farming.
The clip farming.
Yeah,
the
they must
farming.
be. They're trying to get memes out of it, I'm guessing.
Come on.
Clicks. Like that's where the clicks are these days. Like short clips.
Steven Hillenburg wasn't trying to get clips. He was trying to. He had a great idea.
Who the fuck's that again?
Guy who made it.
Oh.
And he loved marine biology.
Actually,
Or he
that's
knew
what
somebody who did, and made SpongeBob. Made a show, and it was hilarious, and it was
Pure. Purity is a beautiful thing. And I don't think people really understand it.
No.
Do you know why? A lot of people struggle to love themselves. They think that there's something wrong with them, that maybe they're unlovable.
Or impure.
Perhaps impure. They've done too much wrong for anyone to be able to accept it all. I have a fun fact for you.
I like fun facts.
You are already loved more than you could possibly know.
I believe that.
And all you have to do is accept it. Why is that?
Because to accept love, you gotta love yourself.
Because love is pure. And if you yourself lack the purity to experience it, then obviously you're not gonna feel it or be a vessel for it. It's just gonna be a concept to you.
And like all pure things, that's an idea. Love can be corrupted.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of unhealthy relationships that are, they think it's love. But I ain't talking about love. And like I told you before.
No. With that being said, we have reached the 4 p.m. mark, which means we're done, ladies.
We gotta get out of here.
You gotta get out of here before Guy comes in.
We
fucking
thank
kicks us
you.
out.
We thank you as always for joining us. And
Had a lot of topics there. We fucking
That was a good one.
we went through everything, which is somewhat surprising to me.
yeah.
But that purity I was speaking of, that pure love, believe it if you want, but I know my truth. Jesus Christ of Nazareth loves you with a love that knows no bounds. All he wants you to do is accept it.
And if you can't buy that, Jeff Grizzly loves you too. Thanks for watching.
And I also love you.
Same.
Freddie too. Reg the Bear. Thank you as always for listening. We hope you hear from us soon. Goodbye.
Goodbye.